coming to you from Forager Brewery in Rochester, our town.
We're never coming back around like shooting stars. We're burning out. It's gone.
Peter Gerrard is the president of Gerrard Companies, a real estate development firm that has completed many projects in Rochester, including, you'd probably be familiar with the People's Food Co-op building. It's gorgeous. Rochester will continue to see more development as the DMC and Journey to Growth plans unfold. Welcome, Peter. And there is that big question we have for you. Who do you need to ask permission from first?
Well, first off, thank you for the gracious time to be here, and I'm thankful for it. First person that comes to mind for me is Denny Hansen, the late city council president. I knew him vaguely. Second person is Doug Knott, but unfortunately we lost Denny a few years ago. But as you put it, permission to build in Rochester, I like that question. It's very charming. But I had several meetings with both Denny and Doug,
What you're saying is it's the other way around, actually. They have to ask permission from you if you're going to build it?
Right,
Okay,
exactly.
good.
But those are the first two people that come to mind for that, certainly.
And you mentioned the co-op building. What a gem! You know, big cities much larger than Rochester don't boast not only the business but the way it looks.
It's beautiful.
Well, I am further blessed to be able to work with my brother in development, and blessed to have a great friend that is also my architect, Jim Pancras, and very talented individual. He's been with us for over 15 years now, and we're really lucky to get up in the morning, go to work, love what we do, passionate about what we do, and build unique buildings that people really want to live in.
So what are some of the challenges of developing property in Rochester specifically?
Well, I'd say one of the bigger challenges is land cost. As in the last 10 years, we've really become urban infill, mixed-use developers.
What does that mean? Sorry to break it. Urban, What did you say first?
Urban infill.
What does that mean?
Okay.
Sorry.
I thank you for slowing me down. Urban, obviously everyone understands that term. Infill is a site of land that has already been used. It's non-virgin ground. Downtown areas, the fringe, it's non-virgin. It's not out in the cornfield.
So existing buildings?
Right.
Okay.
Existing buildings, and that's what Metropolitan Marketplace was an urban infill mixed-use site, and it had other buildings on it. It was part of a RFP, which was a request for proposal, very competitive, I might add. We beat out a few development groups out of Minneapolis and a few here in Rochester with this concept. But getting back to your question, the land costs now with the explosion of DMC and the hype of that and the excitement of that and the opportunity of that for Rochester, wow. But I would say land costs, I don't really see working with City Hall as a challenge. That has been pretty good on our end, and it's about being open, honest, transparent, getting to the neighborhoods right away with your concept and getting into the city staff right away with your concepts.
Right.
How do you do a building when you need to plan for future uses that may or may not be what's in your mind at the present time?
Well, that's a great question. A lot of that comes back to your market study. There's no such thing as build it and they will come, although some people have been fortunate to do that. But you really have to be thinking far ahead, 10 years into the future with your building systems, your building amenities. Location is, everyone knows, is one of the most important pieces of real estate, and oftentimes location determines your market and who your audience is. So
what are the best locations in Rochester right now?
Everywhere he's building.
Well, I like to be downtown or near downtown,
Right.
near the fringe. Our friends at Pompeyns, you just introduced a great project, and I congratulate them. That project will be very successful. Sites like that, I think are hot right now.
Earlier in the program, we were talking about the IBM announcement and the uses of that space. And it came up that more and more there are individual people or very small companies that are doing a lot of work, high-tech work, and it's not large spaces. And so would a company like yours take information like, look at what this huge company is doing with their space, we need to design space keeping that in mind that, oh, there's going to be a need for X, Y, and Z space.
I think what you're describing is what I would refer to as an incubator, where you take a large box and you break it up into many, many small cubicles for many IT or health-related businesses that all can function within that one space. It's much less expensive for them to do that.
So what are you working on right now in Rochester?
Well, there's a little irony here because we are working on a major project that's in the very, very beginning stages on 2nd Street. And if, as I referred to the irony, as we get closer, if we're fortunate enough to have this project materialize, we would be in this very room visiting with the Kutsky neighborhood folks to get their positive feedback on do's and don'ts. It's very important, especially in Rochester, to get with the neighborhood. The neighborhood is the constituency, right? The council members have to listen to those folks. They have a big voice at City Hall. So we want to come in, just like we did on our last 2 projects, get neighborhood support. The best way to do it, get neighborhood support first, then go to City Hall. And you know, a developer might think, I've got a great site and I own this site, but guess what? It's not his neighbor or her neighborhood. It's the neighbors that live there that are going to be affected the most.
Right.
And you've got to show them the respect of their constructive criticism and input.
So get the buy-in and move from there.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Learned a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you for being here. I appreciate the invite.